Hey there, guys. So I want to thank you, as always, for taking the time to join the Wednesday live stream. So, of course, before I do get started, I want to mention my website as always, which is bponlinefitness.com. I will have the link that you can type in at the end of this live stream. And again, on my website, there's a ton of information that you can find related to online coaching as well as ways to get free resources, such as signing up for my email list where I send out an email newsletter each week. I also send reminders of any new blog post I put on my website. That's another free resource in and of itself. I talk about various topics in those posts, whether it be fitness, recovery, nutrition, things of that nature I discuss in there. You also will get reminders on latest live streams that I do, such as this one. I usually send out a reminder every Tuesday to let you know when that is and how you can RSVP and be reminded of that event as it comes. And I also post and archive um, my latest live stream, which goes on the homepage. I'll also have a YouTube channel where I put all of my other live streams. I am going to be working on a new video that I'll be posting to my YouTube in the future. I'm not going to say it's going to be posted within the next week because I still need to make it happen, but I'm planning on doing a video on supplements. So it'll be a little bit before that comes out, but I'm going to work on some new original content to put on that YouTube channel outside of just the live streams themselves. You can find how-to videos. I do some how-to workout videos on my YouTube channel that's outside of some of the short form content I do. So you can check out those videos as well, but I am going to be working on putting more original videos on there. It's just a process because there's a lot of stuff that I'm managing, but I do want to do some extra content and more informative content to give you guys and talk about various topics. I do really want to talk about supplements. That's one topic that I want to go into detail with and do a whole video over. But again, that'll be in the near future. I'll have that posted. I'm continuing to update that YouTube channel. If you want the link to my YouTube channel, just feel free to leave a comment or just let me know that you're interested in subscribing to that, and I can send you a way to get to that. But all that being said, guys, I just want to mention those things. Again, it's bponlinefitness.com is my website. Just feel free to check that out and share it if you're interested. If you may not be interested in online coaching, you can share it if that's something you would like to do. So let's go ahead and get started with talking about today's topic, which is sort of a little bit of expanding on the weightlifting and strength training side of things. And what we're going to be talking about is balancing cardio and strength training in your workouts. Now, this topic in itself doesn't really seem that significant when you think of it just in general, but it does play a very important role, especially if you are somebody who is focusing on muscle gain. This is a topic that I wanted to discuss not like recently because um, I felt that it was something that I struggled with in the past. Before I got into my routine, it's something that was very difficult for me, and that's why I wanted to sort of go over this topic and sort of go through the various aspects of it. So, some of the things that are going to be discussed today: the science behind cardio and strength training, how to tailor cardio and strength training for results, sample weekly workout for cardio and strength training, some of the best practices to keep in mind for cardio and strength, fitting both in your routine, and whether you should start with a cardio or strength first. So that's what we're going to be discussing today overall. So, the science behind cardio and strength. So, as you may know, these are two different training methods. However, they can be complementary to each other, but they can also be basically a detriment to each other at the same time. I couldn't figure out the word, but they basically, it's like a double-edged sword, in other words. these two training methods, depending on how much time you spend in each of them. Because if you do too much in one method, like when we're talking about cardio, it can go against the aspect of gaining muscle. And this kind of goes back into my point as to the struggles I had when I started, with my weightlifting journey, where I really enjoyed cardio, but I didn't know how to balance it properly with strength training. And so it became kind of counterproductive to my results. So let's go ahead and get started in talking with this topic. So the science behind cardio and strength training. So cardio is exercise that elevates heart rate, improving endurance and focusing on the cardiovascular system. You likely know the cardio exercises such as running, cycling, anything of that sort is going to be under the umbrella of cardio. So this is all about improving aerobic capacity and endurance, burning calories, and supporting weight loss and fat reduction. Strength training. This is resistance-based exercise to build muscle strength and mass. Weightlifting, body weight exercises, anything of that sort where you're using barbell, dumbbell, kettlebell, anything of that is going to be considered under the umbrella of strength training. Resistance causes micro tears in muscle fibers. During recovery, fibers repair and grow stronger. So, again, the difference between these two, when we're talking about cardio, you're focusing on improving your endurance, helping with heart health. And then when we're talking about strength training, of course, we're talking about building strength itself, building more muscle mass, as well as, hypertrophy and things of that nature. So that's the two different sort of factors that come with these training methods. So, how do you tailor cardio and strength for results? So, this is all dependent on your particular goals, and these are basically the 4 points or four general goals when it comes to incorporating these training methods. So, when it comes to fat loss, you want to prioritize calorie burning activities with a balance of cardio and strength. So, if you're somebody who's focusing primarily on the fat loss aspect of things, you may be doing a little bit more cardio and more calorie burning based exercises. So you're not doing as much strength training. It still is very beneficial to include strength training in a fat loss routine because muscle, in turn, of course, is going to help burn calories and burn fat. However, you're going to be prioritizing a little bit more cardio than you would with something, focusing on muscle gain. So with muscle gain, of course, you want to focus on progressive strength training with moderate cardio. So with a muscle gain sort of focus or goal, your main priority should be strength training. Your strength training should take up most of the time, and then your cardio should be an aspect of your warm up and your cool down. So cardio is very minimal when it comes to strength training. However, it's still beneficial because it's going to help with your heart health. It's going to help with endurance, and that endurance can also benefit your strength training routine. You just need to have a very moderate amount of cardio because if you do too much cardio and you're burning too much calories, that's going to in turn, affect the aspect of muscle gain. So it's really more about balance when we're talking about muscle gain and, cardio and strength training itself. With endurance, now this goal is, of course, more of an athletic sort of aspect, whereas somebody who's wanting to build more quickness and agility. Endurance is sort of under that umbrella. So endurance improvement is increasing cardio duration and intensity. So if you're focusing on endurance, of course, you're going to prioritize way more cardio than you would with just a muscle gain routine or even a fat loss routine. So cardio as well as SAQ training, which is a form of training which is known as speed, agility, and quickness. A lot of those types of training methods include like different drills, really fast-paced sort of movements is under the sort of aspect of endurance. Overall health is just a mix of moderate intensity cardio and full body strength workouts. So with somebody who's wanting to focus on overall health, it's really mostly about balance. It's not really about having, more cardio on one side and strength training on one side. It's more of a balance between the two. So having a good mix of both moderate intensity cardio as well as more of full body strength training. So that's just in general for somebody who's just focusing on their overall health. They don't really have a particular goal per se that's focusing on, fat loss or muscle gain. They're just overall wanting to maintain where they're at the moment and stay healthy. So that's what that goal in itself means. So, with all that being said, let's sort of go over a sample of a weekly workout for cardio and strength training. So, again, this is just a general guide. It's not really the most, it's not going to be identified with, every person because it's going to vary depending on your goals, depending on what you're focusing on, depending on your fitness level. A lot of that's going to factor into, building a workout that works for you. So, with a workout, generally, this is going to be what a day would look like if you were including cardio and strength training. So, you would do a warm up, which is usually 5 to 10 minutes, strength training lasting around 25 to 30 minutes, and then cardio around 15 to 20 minutes. And then your cool down and stretching is going to last 5 to 10 minutes. So you would complete 3 sets of each exercise, 8 to 12 reps per set, rest 30 to 60 seconds between sets. This is a very general workout that would be, giving the proper balance with cardio and strength. This workout in itself is very similar to some of the workouts that I've given to clients. The structure in itself, it's very simple to follow. But as you see here, the strength training takes up a majority of the time versus the cardio. So this particular sample workout is more geared towards somebody who is focusing a little bit more on muscle gain. Whereas if you were talking about fat loss, we would have maybe a little bit more cardio and then a little bit of the strength training mixed in. So again, it's really dependent on your goals, how much of each sort of training method is more beneficial. So best practices for cardio and strength training. So the frequency for cardio itself is to aim for 3 to 5 sessions per week. Intensity moderate to vigorous based on goals and fitness levels. Again, keep that in mind um, that it's really dependent on your goals, what you should focus on. You want to have a variety, a mix of activities, running, cycling, swimming to avoid burnout and overuse injuries. You don't necessarily have to change up your cardio that much. If you feel like you're going into a plateau and you want to change things up, that's totally fine. Like adding maybe an elliptical based exercise, adding maybe rowing into that routine. If you want to change up your cardio routine, that's fine. In order to prevent that burnout. So for strength training frequency, it would be 2 to 3 days per week with rest days in between. Again, this varies too. For me, I actually do my strength training 5 days a week and I have 2 rest days. So that's what I focus on. Generally, it's for somebody who is really trying to get into a routine, 2 to 3 days is the best starting point. So keep that in mind. You could do more days, like if you're doing 4 or 5 days a week, that's totally fine. As long as you have a minimum of 2 rest days. If we're going over 5 days a week, then that's not going to be beneficial. So keep that in mind that, sort of the baseline is 2 to 3 days a week for strength training is generally fine. If you do have a goal where you're wanting to focus more on muscle gain, then it would be okay to add extra days for strength training. But your main focus should be at least 2 rest days. Rest days are just as important, so keep that in mind. Of course, form first. You want to focus on proper form and technique for each specific exercise, no matter if you're doing a training split, whatever muscle you're targeting. This is going to help prevent injury. So the reps and sets would be generally 2 to 4 sets, 8 to 12 reps for most muscle groups. So that's the general best practice, again, to keep in mind if you're wanting to incorporate both cardio and strength. So fitting both in your workout routine. So striking the right balance between cardio and strength training can alleviate elevate, your fitness routine, enhancing endurance, muscle growth, and overall health. So this article will help you seamlessly incorporate both into a well-rounded workout plan. So weight loss or endurance. So of course, this is sort of going a little bit more into detail about how to fit both of those into your routine. So for weight loss endurance, of course, you want to lean towards more cardio, but keep strength training for muscle tone. For muscle building or toning, you want to prioritize strength training, but add short cardio sessions to support endurance. You want to alternate days for cardio and strength or incorporate both the same day with a focus of one type, strength focused with a cardio warm up. So for a weekly plan, you want to aim for 2 to 4 days of cardio and 2 to 3 days of strength training for a balanced approach. So keep that in mind. So when it comes to these routines, which one do you need to start first? And I sort of just touched on that just a moment ago when we're talking about these, and that is that with cardio, you're generally focusing on more of the warm up aspect of things. This is really good, like to start out a workout and then to end a workout. So for fat loss and cardiovascular endurance or a quick energy boost, cardio first is a good idea. For strength first, for building muscle, strength gains, and maximizing lifting performance, you could include that first. So again, it's all based on your particular goal. So the benefits of starting with cardio. So warm ups the body and improves endurance. It's going to boost metabolism and calorie burn early on. It's great for workouts focused on heart health and stamina. So, the benefits of starting with strength: it uses peak energy for lifting heavier weights, it increases lean muscle mass or lean muscle, boosting metabolism in the long term. It is ideal for strength and muscle development goals. Again, this is all based on your particular goals. Generally, cardio is fine either way. But if you're just somebody who's focusing on strength, maybe you want to start more with strength training, get going, and then end off with cardio as like a cool down, such as a walk or anything of that sort. That would be a good idea as well. So, pre-workout fuel. So, I do want to sort of expand on this and some foods that you could include as well, like whether we're talking about cardio and strength, what you could include in your diet. So for strength training, focus on protein and complex carbs. So chicken, sweet potato, or oatmeal with protein powder. That's great for strength training. Helps to build and repair muscles and provides sustained energy. Eating 1 to 2 hours before is for best digestion and energy. For cardio training, prioritize simple carbs for quick energy. Banana, toast with honey, anything of that sort is going to be great. Quick digesting carbs fuel your endurance and keep your body energized. You want to aim to eat 30 to 60 minutes before for optimal results. So when we're talking about strength training, it's more of a mix between both protein and complex carbs. And then when we're talking about cardio, it's more of a mix of the simple carbs. So keep that in mind for pre-workout. Now, during workout, some of the best things to keep in mind is that with strength training, you typically don't want to have any extra fuel needed unless it's over an hour that you're working out. So consider sipping on water or an electrolyte drink to stay hydrated. For cardio training, for long cardio sessions over 60 minutes, consider electrolytes or a quick carb source like a sports drink for sustained energy. So generally, again, water is fine if you're just exercising for roughly an hour or so. But if you're going over an hour, it can be beneficial to have something like a sports drink for those electrolytes. So keep that in mind during a workout. It's a great thing to keep in mind to help to sustain that energy and endurance. So for post-workout fuel, strength training, you want to emphasize protein and carbs, and this can be a protein shake with fruit or a balanced meal. You also want to use protein, of course, that's going to help repair muscle, carbs to replenish glycogen stores. And this is ideal within 30 to 60 minutes post workout. to help with that muscle repair and that recovery. For cardio training, you want to focus on carbs with a lot of protein, so yogurt with berries, whole grain toast with almond butter, anything of that sort is going to be good for a post-workout fuel with when we're focusing on prioritizing cardio training. So carbs help replenish energy, protein aids in recovery. So try to refuel within 30 to 60 minutes post cardio workout. So that's generally what you want to keep in mind when it comes to the cardio side of things. Alrighty, guys. So that's all I have for you today. I hope that you found this stream and this presentation valuable and helpful. I want to thank you again. I really do appreciate the support. I will have this live stream, of course, posted to my YouTube channel, and you can also watch it on the homepage when I have it posted on my website. I've got all my information here if you want to contact me, my phone and email, as well as the website that I mentioned at the beginning, bponlinefitness.com is where you can go to check that out. If you have any questions about online coaching, feel free to reach out and I can help you with that. If you have questions about anything I discussed in this live stream, feel free to let me know. But thank you guys once again for taking the time to check this out. And I hope that it's been helpful and I hope that it's something that you can think about with your workout routine, whether you're focusing on muscle gain, fat loss, or endurance, what you should focus on and how to balance your workout routine when it comes to cardio and strength training. So thank you guys once again. And I will see you guys, of course, next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time in my next live stream. I'll have that event posted this week where you can RSVP to it. So I'll see you guys then. And thank you guys once again for taking the time to check this out.